Ready to move out.
Bell and Company.
Is edition here of Bell and Company. I am the host, Mario J. Bell, the ringmaster. I like to think of myself as
Jerry Springer.
a Jerry Springer, right? Sure. The homage to him. I know people that worked with him on two of his shows.
Dated him too.
And dated him. Yes, I do. But
I
anyway,
rented his animals that he had on his show once, his camels and stuff.
Yeah.
He had
you trained them?
No, I rented them.
Oh, you rented them to him
for a nativity scene at the church I worked at.
Wow.
So.
Well, everybody wondering who that is Libby, the co-host right there.
Hi.
And of course, the guy that sets up all of our awesome guests there, and our co-host, Joe Brunker. Hey, Joe. Hey, Libby.
Hey.
Hi.
And it is a small world. I'll tell you, it's amazing how many people just in Chicago. I mean, I don't know about the whole entertainment industry, but Chicago itself, like everybody knows everybody. That's why I'm always trying to remember. Was I late? Did I upset? I know I quit a couple of places that I shouldn't have, but anyway.
7 degrees of separation.
Yeah, no, there are. There it is, yeah. I mean, now you're working at a bar that I DJ'd at many moons ago. I forget the name of the bar back then. It wasn't Bottom Lounge yet, but it was there.
I'm not sure exactly.
About 10 years ago.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Look, I can barely remember what we just talked about. How can I remember that? The health issues are messing with the brain. I'm not getting enough blood to the brain, I think, is what's going on. But anyway, I'm sorry. I got our guests sitting here just kind of going back and forth. Hello, welcome to the show. Tell us who you are, what you're here doing.
Sounds good. My name is Tom Cirillo.
Hey, Tom.
I scream in a band called Soluna. We are a progressive metalcore gent band just outside of Chicago. And
awesome.
Yeah.
Joe sent me some stuff to listen to. I'm like, wow, I like these guys. A radio station I worked on before here was mostly metal, but then they had like the punk, I don't know what they called it on Sunday night, and they played a little bit of everything, eclectic, nice. And I think you guys would fit in there.
Sweet.
So anyway, I really liked what I heard there. But anyway, you also, off the air, we were just talking, you also, I guess it's the day job is pretty cool. Well, I want to work with you for the day job. Sure. Get us some tickets.
Yeah. Very recently I got hired on over at the Paramount in downtown Aurora as a senior graphic designer. So I've been really excited to be a part of that. And
you're going to get the band to play there too?
You know,
they mostly do theater stuff, right?
I may or may, well, they do have a venue. And I may or may not have pitched that a couple times in jest, but
or may not.
I would honestly give my left arm to play at the big,
the main theater, main stage.
Yeah. Well, they have an outside concert hall that is.
Wait, is
that what that's called? That is River Edge Park.
That's
their
part
park?
of the Paramount?
Yep.
Oh, no kidding. Wow, Joe and I are both at the same time. Whoa.
That's really cool. I
thought that was the city.
Yeah, so
unless the city runs the Paramount too.
I don't 100% know just because I'm like super new there, but I think technically we work for the city.
You need to talk to our guest that we actually missed in the last hour, but we want to get him on because he's always got good stuff. He's probably going to talk about something at the Paramount. I'm betting he might, but let's get him on before we forget. And we can't, he's going to his next meeting or whatever he's doing. Let's bring on Rich G, your entertainment concierge, and also TSP Productions. Hey, Rich.
Hey, Mario.
What's up, Rich?
Aurora, huh?
Yeah, we got a full house in here, and we figured maybe that might tie in with what you want to talk about. You got Aurora on your list there?
Aurora is a wonderful theater, by the way.
Well, he works there, so our guest works there.
Wonderful theater. They've opened up a smaller theater. Paramount has within a block of the Paramount. It's the Copley. And at the Copley, they have an Act of God. Is the name of the show. It's a dramedy.
I'll have to check that one out.
Dramedy.
Combined. And that's going to run until I think November the 10th. So you should know, Joe, and get over there and see that nice little show that they've got.
I definitely want to check that out. I like dramedies. I'm quite a fan.
That's his stomping grounds. He's from that part of the Chicagoland area. I like to call Aurora Chicagoland area.
I like to stomp.
Well, Chicagoland includes all of the suburbs in Chicago, including Chicago itself. And Chicago has over 200 different theaters.
Every time I hear you say that, I just cannot picture 200. But then I think, well, just like in one block in like Halstead, there's 3, So anyway.
They're all over the place. I'll tell you about one of the neat little theaters that is brand new to the scene is the Chopin Theater. That's like just north of the city, just north of downtown. At the Chopin Theater. Also, you got Broadway in Chicago at downtown. Broadway in Chicago has 4 or 5 working theaters going at all times. And for example,
Chicago's bigger than New York. You always talk about in terms of premieres, right? More premieres here than in New York.
Yes, absolutely. There was a lot of world premieres going on. For example, Broadway in Chicago right now has Some Like It Hot over at the Cadillac Palace. And that opens on the 22nd.
I like the fan on.
It's going to run until November 3rd. At the Netherlander Theater.
Rich moved on. Yeah, the Netherlands. You keep talking about that one. That used to be what, the Oriental or something else? What was it called before?
Before it was the Netherlander was not. Yeah, it may have been the Port Oriental.
I forget. Anyway, so what's over there?
Harry Potter.
Yeah, the Cursed Child, right?
Yep, and that's going to run for a long time now.
Yes.
So people can catch that one.
We're going to run until February.
Wicked. I'm stoked.
That is a long time.
Chopin Theater has a world premiere. It's called The Golden Girls. Meet Scooby.
I've seen some interesting Golden Girls plays and musicals, but that one's bigger. That one's actually like the real show, right? Like pretending to be the characters and everything.
Yeah, the four ladies, and they are so funny. I've seen other performances that they have done, and they were just terrific. It's always a spoof. It's always funny. Great comedy. And that's over at the Chopin Theater, and David has written a world premiere featuring the Golden Girls. Into the Woods is also over at the Chopin Theater.
Don't know that one.
That's Stephen Sondheim's. Stephen Sondheim's musical.
I was going to say it's musical. Okay.
It's kind of one of his best.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most.
Really?
Yeah. Beloved musical. Let's talk about a couple of other downtown shows are close. Like the Steppenwolf and the Goodman. Steppenwolf has a world premiere called Leroy and Lucy. That's going to open. I think it opened in the previews just already. It's a world premiere.
Always cool to hear about world premieres here.
Yeah, this is before they go to New York. We get them first and send them along the way. Sometimes we get them second, but we get them. We get them all. Whatever is going on in this world, theater, Chicago gets it at one time or another. Let me also mention a couple of others real quickly, and then we'll go on to what else Terribly Smart People Productions, or TSP, does for the world.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. There, Rich does. He's got a lot of cool things that you can, if you want to do barter with him and trade with Rich's company. You give him a call at 312-661-1975. But we'll get to that in a second. Go ahead. You're moving on to the north side somewhere. Where are you going?
Yeah, well, let's mention a couple of other theaters, great shows that are going to open up in Skokie, for example. Music Theater Works at the Center for the Performing Arts is doing Little Shop of Horrors. It's going to run for a couple of weeks. It hasn't opened yet. Will open sometime this week. It's a wonderful, wonderful show.
Feed me, Seymour.
If you've never seen Shop of Horrors, go see it. I don't talk about shows that I don't recommend, by the way.
Solid.
Yes, I've been meaning to say that in all the times you've been on. Rich either goes himself or knows somebody that went and gets the reviews for him. He's always talking about stuff that's good, that we don't want to waste our time, right, Rich? We pay good money for these.
You're not going to be a Dean Martin of theater?
What's that?
Dean Martin of theater? Like, Dean, like always, like just, well, not Dean Martin.
And
Is it?
in Metropolis and Arlington Heights, you got Cinderella. That's, I think, going to go for about another week. Writers Theater in Glencoe.
I got to check that one out.
All north.
All over.
Northeast, like along the lake shore there, or North Shore, they call it. Not the North Coast. What do they call that area?
Oil Lamp Theater in Glenview. Has a nice little show running right now. Let's see. Well, we don't have a lot of time. Let's talk about barter and trade for a second.
Well, before you do, I want to say something. Do you think a lot of people? I want to ask you something. Do you think a lot of people that say are near the Paramount Theater are going to end up going to these northern suburb theaters or into the city? Is this something that these shows are worth it, that everybody should go, or do people try to stay close to their area? What do you think?
A lot of people aren't even leaving the house.
Okay.
This is an era of weirdness.
Absorbed in Netflix.
So badly with this COVID stuff. A lot of people won't even go leave their homes.
So the north, like the Genesee Theater, for instance, that's probably a lot of people drawn from the north side. That's Waukegan, Illinois. That's way up there, almost Wisconsin, right near Great America. But anyway, so
I just sent you to a show out there. That was a great show.
Oh yeah, loved it. But again, I think I'm a rare. That's why I brought it up. I don't know if everybody is going to be going to all these places. That's why there's 200 of them, because there's people kind of keep it close. Like the Paramount people are going to be Aurora and Naperville and over there in the western suburbs. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I travel, but I don't think I'm a typical person.
When it's a good theater or a good theater scene, and it's a good show, people go whatever distance it takes.
If the goose is worth the gander.
Shows on Broadway.
Well, I'll tell you, you're bringing up the barter. We'll talk a little bit about that. We got a couple more minutes, but on that, I guess it's worth it as long as you can get deals with Rich, because you can get some deals on theater too, right? Not just other products like vacations. Go ahead. What are some things that you offer?
There's always a way to get some form of a discount. If you go to
what your page on Art of Barter?
If you go to Terribly Smart People Productions, that's another thing that I do on the bill and the barter.
Nice.
Barter or trade. In other words, if I'm going to advertise something for you, and I can go nationally or internationally if I want to, I've got 300 meteorologists that perform on radio shows all over the country.
And do you get some theater? Can we barter with theater? That's what I was asking you. Can people call you at 312-661-1975 to barter shows too, or is it mostly like for services?
It's anything that you can do on a trade. In other words, if you have a service and you haven't spent a lot of money on buying a product that you resell and add a profit to it, and if it's a service-orientated thing like doctors and lawyers and Indian chiefs, that's trade. You can trade your service for some hard items that are overstocked by some companies, and that's what trade is. You've got something that somebody says, somebody has a cow and somebody wants milk. So we trade with each other.
So you're like, what you're telling me is if I want to go on vacation, I could probably call Rich with TSP Productions and you'll be able to hook me up somehow. I just got to give you a call at 312-661-1975 and you'll probably be able to get me a hotel or some kind of accommodation.
Or a group discount somewhere. or my travel agent, or something that is tradable. I can access all of that at a discount for you into the cash world.
So
that's why they call me the big barter.
So if they want to find, what was that they call you?
The Baron of Barter.
The Baron. You've got a lot of names. You're the entertainment concierge. You're TSP Productions. You're the Baron of Barter. So if they want to find you, where do they go to find you, Rich? I know they can call you, but where else?
They're not going to find me. I'm too busy.
All right. So
They
just
can call me,
just call them. Okay.
Just call 312-661-1975. There's something you can't get into. You got a problem with it. You want a discount for it. You got a group that wants to go somewhere. I can help you. I can direct you to people that can save you some money on it.
I love it. That's why we've I was referred to by another person that barters with you on another radio station, another show. So I'm glad it worked out. So everybody, give Rich a call today at 312-661-1975 and see what he can help you out with. And of course, go to all those wonderful venues, including the Paramount, which we're going to talk more about here coming up right after this. So thanks for being with us again, Rich, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks.
Hey, Mario, you take care now.
Bye, Rich.
Thanks, Rich.
See you, Rich.
So, he was actually, he normally comes at the end of the first hour, but that's okay. We got him in. That's all that matters. Because again, he's got a lot of cool stuff. I'm telling you, the Paramount needs to talk to him. I think he's already dealing with them though.
I was going to say, I'll pass some info.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's been dealing with them for eons because he's the one that told me about it. I forgot that there was a big theater that you work at, obviously.
It's great.
Anyway, let's go ahead and reintroduce our guests. You're here with what band again?
Yeah, so my band's called Soluna. We are a kind of a progressive metalcore / gent metal band outside of Chicago suburbs. And we actually today we just released an acoustic version of our song Cerulean, which just based on our play count and people's kind of reactions during live shows, that's been people's favorite song that we found.
Say the name again?
Cerulean.
It's a beautifully crafted tune for sure.
Joe, did you guys? I didn't catch this. Did you guys work together?
No, we met at a Bible study.
Okay,
Yeah. So you know each other for how
this
many?
this wasn't a networking in the industry. This one was something totally another
It's wild.
outside of the
much.
field altogether. Okay,
Speaking
interesting.
of Paramount, though, like I was saying earlier, I just got hired over there as a graphic designer, and some shows that are coming up that I'm excited about is and Joe, if you haven't seen it, the $1 Million Quartet is pretty cool.
I've been wanting to look
Really?
at that for
Dude, I
sure.
would totally go with you if you want.
Oh,
and then
that-
that'd
Wait
be
a
so
minute.
sick. And then
They were just downtown. Speaking of
were they?
Broadway in Chicago, so is Paramount part of? That's probably not. Part,
so
they are.
we have a it's newish from what I understand, called the Stolp Island Theater, and that's like right down the street from the main Paramount Theater, and they built it just for $1 Million Quartet.
No
and,
kidding.
And it's gonna.
But they're considered a Broadway show. So I'm wondering. So Paramount gets the Broadway shows. I guess.
Definitely.
Okay.
I'm still learning kind of the in and outs of like how things are, but I know we have like the Broadway series, and then we have a Bold series where they're like a little bit more small scale than just
Like dinner theater, almost, kind of, sort of.
maybe. And Act of God is one of our Bold series, so it's in the Copley Theater, just a bit of a smaller stage, smaller occupancy, but they
experimental plays.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought the city owned that other theater that we've been talking about in the park, wherever they put it. I didn't know that this was tied in with Paramount. So that's
so the
pretty cool.
city probably has a big hand in the
I think
theater
they
in
do.
general.
Yeah. So
they probably gave them tax incentives or something to come there, but whatever.
Not 100%.
They're there. That's all that matters.
Yes. So and then Frozen's coming at the end. It's like actually starting on Halloween, so that's like kind of interesting.
Oh, cool.
So,
I don't think they're ever going to let it go.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't there Frozen 3? I mean, how many Frozens are there movie wise? I don't even know anymore.
Who knows?
I think they
I
did
know
the
my
second one.
niece and nephew, my nephew too, but definitely my niece loved that Frozen series. But
Yeah.
that's cool. I'd like
Yeah.
to see what are they going to do to freeze the stage.
I'm not sure, but I mean, I've been amazed by just seeing past photos and then just seeing what they're doing right now with like stage design, and I'm just like blown away by the talents over there. So and I'm kind of new to like theater world, so this is like really exciting, and everyone's so creative over there. So I'm just excited to see what they do with Frozen because, and I got to meet some of the cast. We did like a behind this, like we did a little photo shoot,
Like a preview thing.
Yeah, exactly, and just like really cool to be part of that. And I would never have thought that that's where my career would take me, but I'm really happy over there. So.
Well, I was going to say to relate it to what you do. I mean, well, other than maybe you'll be at one of those venues that you got the little in there now working with them, but you know, being in band, you're talking about the graphic design stuff. Are you responsible for all the marketing? Like Joe's a guerrilla marketing guy himself, you know. Do you do that for your band then?
He does more of the digital.
I do all like the design and, you know, just creative work for like the visuals for the band.
That's what I mean. Not so much the marketing, but actually putting together the look of it.
The
band logos and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I liked your little TikTok you made with the egg.
Oh yeah, it was just like an inside joke because like
he's the screamer of the band.
I scream in the band, and we did an acoustic song that's all singing. And,
wait, are you the lead singer?
I'm the
He's
screamer.
the screamer.
Our bassist sings, and he has like an amazing voice. So like we don't
Well,
really know
hold
what
on.
to do with me.
I'm from the metal world, but explain to everybody else and maybe refresh me when you say you're the screamer, meaning what?
So
just give us a little.
Yeah, you
just
can
gonna
sing.
overmodulate.
You can scream.
Go ahead.
How about I just pull this up like you had?
Well, but the role of the screamer, you're not the lead singer, but
I'm like the lead vocalist, like lead singer, you could call it that. But then our bassist is all
sings the clean
part.
So
like the choruses.
I get it.
And
so
yeah,
you are the lead singer, but part of the lead singer.
Yes,
I think.
I guess so. I mean,
it's like a dual-headed lead singer.
Is this a metal thing that I don't know about somehow?
Yeah.
They have a metal station, and I don't even know what a screamer is.
They have cleans and screamers.
Again, the heart, the blood's not pumping to the brain.
It's
sorry.
it's
I
more.
can say that again.
It's more in the past 20 years that's been more of a thing.
Okay, because you do it, right? Joe,
I'm more of a clean. I'm more of
a
clean with a
I saw
rasp.
you jumping off stage in one of the videos. So
yeah, but it's not the same thing. Different vocal.
Libby always gives me a hard time. I'm on a music station. I don't even know all this stuff, but I don't know. It's insider stuff, isn't it?
No,
I mean,
it's pretty
I
common.
I guess it just goes like from band to band. You know, some. But for us, I think he and I bounce off each other really well, and while he's singing, there's some parts that I'm also screaming behind to kind of give some depth, you know, both like on the recording, but in the like live setting too. So
do you want to do it? You could go ahead.
I'll pull something up really quick.
Step away here.
I don't know that I would be able to do the scream without it like blowing out the mics and everything, but
you can maybe go away. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's like Pantera.
You know what? I can plug you in. Come on. Tell the boss we're plugging them in. It's going to be loud, though, everybody. Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
So turn it up again.
Let's see. Headphones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should work.
Let's see. So here's just like a quick... Oh,
we'll get it right.
Yep. So...
Again, he's going to scream.
Yes.
Again, it's called Screamer.
Screaming, yeah. I mean, some people call it Screamo, and that is like the silliest thing that we just kind of like cringe at a little bit, because it's like we get that was once like what people called it, but that's definitely not what we are.
Well, I mean, I know all the various kinds of metal. I definitely know that.
Screaming is its own like technique. It's like it's very different from a clean vocal. You know, just by the way that you approach it. Because if not, a lot of screamers can lose their voice fairly
There's
quickly.
a guy named Sid Yiddish who does something through the throat. He never called it scream, but he kind of does it. But
more of a growl.
It doesn't really go with the music, though.
Yeah.
It's some weird chanting he does.
Huh.
Got you.
But it's kind of like that. Okay, go ahead. Let's hear something.
Let's
see
here's
if
our
we can
song,
pick it up.
Our Amethyst. So
can we pick it up? Just press play. Yeah, there it is.
So that's the clean. Oh, I got you. Yeah, so that's our song Amethyst, and something I think would be kind of cool is so we did, like I was saying, just release the acoustic version of Cerulean. So this is the.
Are you swearing in it? We don't like.
No,
swearing
actually.
Oh, good. Okay. Making sure.
That's actually something that we've kind of tried to stay away from if we can. So this is the metal version of the original version of Cerulean.
Okay.
And I'll just play like 10 seconds of it or something. Or
I love that design on the cover of that. Wow, that's beautiful.
Oh, for the camera right there. There's his graphics.
Yeah, so I designed that. Used a little bit of AI, a little bit of Photoshop, and yeah, went through a lot of different variations.
Wait, can we hear you doing that? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's screaming.
Oh, all right.
Hello.
How did I not know that? I'm sorry, everybody. And I
Now
found
you know,
everybody
Mario.
at the old Rebel radio station that I didn't know what it was called. But anyway, yeah.
So
You were the one who called it Screamo.
I mean, right. There you go. I started it. That was my turn.
I think we have some notes that we want to make some like funny reels about just like the misnomer or just like the stereotype of it being called Screamo. But
Can we keep playing? Or you want
yeah,
to
absolutely.
Okay.
I wanted to point out is that this is our guitarist. So each of the four of us know how to scream in the band. So we thought it would be cool to have each of us scream on this.
Okay.
And then this is Jay, who's our bassist and sings.
You can hear him now.
That's clean.
Okay. You can understand him better too. Okay.
So then this part is actually the same singer, Jay, screaming. So it's kind of cool. Like before it was,
Hold on.
me.
Hold on. Let's hear it. Yeah. It's total. I mean, I just consider it heavy metal or not grunge. I'm drawing a blank on what it's called scream, but it's actually a type of metal.
Yeah, it's like metalcore. Like it's.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
We're
So that's
definitely
what I
like.
think of it as. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
You guys ever do crabcore?
Are we done with that?
We totally should. Here, let me
Blow it out.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Okay.
I was gonna say I can play the acoustic one if you'd like.
Oh, all right.
Just
we're
to give. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Just to give you like the contrast. So like, I hope that gives kind of a taste
It's
of.
not. Wait. It's we call it not metalcore. Well, it is, but I can't believe I can't remember. Of course, you guys are putting me on the spot.
That's
I'm
okay.
interviewing you. I should know this stuff before you come on the air, but I didn't know we were going to be talking about screaming and stuff. But there's so many different. All the different.
Yeah, there's like a million different subgenres.
Yeah.
And funny enough, so like
There's like 20 big ones.
oh, totally. So I mean, it's hard to even wrap my head around. And someone's gonna like, give me a hard time about it. But it's like in our world, it's like post-hardcore, hardcore, metalcore, gent, deathcore.
Deathcore. Thank
yeah.
you. That's the one I was trying to remember.
Have you ever played with Tanzen?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. They're really good.
Yeah, I think we played. No, you know what? We haven't played with Tanzen, but like we know them through like mutual friends.
Yeah, I met them through El Famous
Oh, that's
because they were a couple of them were in that band.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that's
kinda
awesome.
branched out.
Wait, say the name again.
Tanzen.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's-
really good local band, but
that's
they
so
also
cool.
travel. But what's your thoughts on Meshuggah then?
I like. I
They're
mean,
crazy,
in
aren't
this,
they?
yeah.
So we keep playing this in the background. You want to load that?
Yeah, sure. So this is the acoustic version. If you can kind of recognize like the chorus from the metal version, it was
Hold
a
on,
lot
let's
of.
hear it.
Okay. So let's see.
I love how you got the cleans on this one, just because it's like full clean, beautiful. Well done.
Man, you would fit
Your
right
egg
in
was killer.
you would fit right in with the Rebel Radio crowd for sure.
Yeah, your egg.
You guys both must know the Rebel Radio guys. Maybe not Scott himself, but all the people that work there and go to all the shows. They're everywhere. They go everywhere. And like groups of 20, 30 people, they go to all the shows.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like a caravan. Kind of like the hippies, but they're metal.
Yeah.
This is good.
Thanks. Yeah, it just came out today. Like we put a music video together. My brother shot it. My brother and his fiance shot it, and then I edited it and kind of like produced it and like helped get it all put together. We did.
Tell the name for people that want to look it up.
The band or the song?
The song and the band.
This our band is called Soluna, Soluna, and then the song is called Cerulean. It's Cerulean, and then it's acoustic. Great, and yeah, it should come right up.
I love being able to talk about a lot of the local bands. Specifically, we happen to be in the Chicago area, but if I was talking to a band that flew in from Vegas or something, if they're more local, I like the grunge. Even Rebel Radio had a lot of local stuff. So I think you need to submit to them.
That'd be great.
You guys will.
How long have you been going now?
Work good together
as Soluna, like 3 years or so.
Oh man, I want to. My guys, if they're listening, are probably going to kick me, but it's probably like 4 or 5 years actually.
Oh, very nice.
And then like
Joe's known about you for 3.
No, I've known you since
probably
before that, like about 5 or 6.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But,
so we've kind of had an interesting past. Like, Jay is the original member of Soluna, and he had a different group, and they'd played shows for a while before me and Shane and Jake had joined. So
before the Screamers joined.
Well, so funny
they had
enough,
other Screamers.
Funny enough, Jay was the lead vocalist, and then I guess for like this iteration, he wanted to play bass and sing more. So that was what they wanted to bring in a screamer, and then like it was kind of this really interesting like act of fate where so Jay and our buddy Ryan it was just him. So he played drums, and then Jay obviously plays bass, and he plays guitar really well too. He sings. All the guys in our band are like insanely talented.
You're all
and I feel like
we didn't really talk about your background. So are y'all musicians from other things? Y'all learned instruments or just garage band? How did y'all get started?
Well, it kind of came together in a weird way where Jay, I had met up with Jay and Ryan, and I was going to join Soluna as it existed then, and then we realized, okay, we kind of need another good 2 more guitarists, and so we basically met up with Shane and our buddy Armand, and we kind of merged those 2 bands, and then really what ended up happening was just kind of juggling the name. So we were like, hey, we like Of Origins, that's a great name. It feels weird to continue as Soluna without the other members, so that was the plan. And then shortly after, we changed it to Lake Haven, and then we realized we were trying really hard to find a name that was as good and that we liked as much as Soluna.
One that didn't sound like a subdivision.
Exactly. So, and
this is definitely a unique name for it. What does it mean? Does it mean something?
It's just the Spanish or Latin word for sun and moon kind of just smashed together.
Got it. Now I get
without
it.
the 2 L's, or with 1 L instead. So it was kind of
before you were with these guys, though, that's what I was getting at. Your background. You're a musician already, then, or
for somewhat. I feel like I've been in different projects here and there since I was in college, 2007, 8-ish, and was kind of just learning how to scream then.
Well, your background's in graphic design, obviously.
Yes. So then I actually did take some classes while I was in college to do more vocal performance, and I realized that music theory was just really tough, and the technical the technical side of music was not something I could see myself really pursuing as a career. So I basically went back to graphic design because I wanted to try it, and it just was not fitting my.
Didn't you say, Joe, that you don't know how to read music or write music or something? Wasn't that?
I just write the melody in my head.
Yeah,
it was you talking about that.
Yeah, I could just literally once I hear someone play a riff, that's when I come up with the words, and it just kind of flows out, kind of freestyle, and then we.
But if you had to write it onto the paper to read to play
I can preconceive a melody, and then people can play around it because my melodies are pretty straightforward to the point where someone could definitely create something if they're a skilled musician.
Do you do the same thing, Tom, where you kind of just hear it, or do you write it down then?
Well,
not the lyrics. I'm talking about the riffs.
The riffs. I don't have anything to do with that, honestly. I just sit in the room with Shane and Jay when they're writing, and I'm just like blown away. They're like, "What do you think of this?" I'm like, "It's amazing. Like,
You're
what?
brilliant.
You guys are crazy. Like, how did you write that?" Like they'll go from drums, bass, guitar, and they just like do this full song that's like written. They play it, but then like program drums, and I'm just like, how did you even picture that? How did you go from like step A to like
this
step
must
D?
be this must be a trend, because you two aren't the first that said that. Oh, well, I don't write music. I just can hear the riff and I can sing.
Yeah.
I'm trained to sing.
Common in most musicians.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it seems like it is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I know a lot of people in their writing process, they tend to like actually write the notes out and think of that
Here,
stuff. Like,
Paul
it's
Anka just
that's
was in
interesting.
Chicago area. He wrote, sang, but I guess not everybody's like him.
and a lot of people can't freestyle as much either.
cannot.
Everybody's got their different role and their different fit, like in different types of art. Usually an artist, like a graphic artist, is also some other realm of art, which is like me. I act and I sing, but I write, but I'm not as savvy when it comes to music theory and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like he's not
The
as savvy.
actual notes on paper, the two of you guys wouldn't
I-
write.
I
be able to
can
write it.
slightly read them because I was in band in 8th grade. I got kicked out though. 'cause
What about you?
I organized a coup.
I can read music to some extent. I played the violin for like
You
from when
guys
I
are
was a little
cracking
kid.
Libby up over here. Go ahead. You played the
Yeah,
violin.
I played the violin
All right.
from
Okay.
when I was like, like 4th grade or something. They like ask you if you want to, play an instrument, and that was
They made me do the recorder.
oh,
the
yeah?
flute thing.
We had
That's
to do
all
that
I
too.
bass
did.
clarinet.
yeah. Al played the clarinet, my brother.
Very nice.
So what was I gonna say?
The
So
writing of the music.
So
You were in a band.
They-
You were in band, like classical.
yeah, so I was in orchestra, and
Your
that,
orchestra.
and that was really cool. I can't play it anymore. I've tried, and I just don't have the like dexterity for it anymore. But
Fiddlesticks.
I know.
Where did you get into all this then? In high
In
school,
middle.
grammar school? Where did
Yeah.
you start
So-
going, okay, I'm going to scream one day, or
Yeah.
I'm going to draw. I'm going to do awesome logos for my band. How did this all start?
Well, I'll start with the screaming, and then kind of the design part came. The design part kind of came when I was like in high school.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I would always notice like packaging, and that was like attractive, and I kind of just like liked seeing things that were like, oh, that looks cool, like that's aesthetic, like it attracts me to the product or whatever. And then like in high school, I kind of discovered graphic design, I guess, through classes and whatever, and I just like knew that was what I wanted to do. Like it was like really easy, and I know
Obviously,
a lot
you
of
got an
kids-
artistic mode to you there,
Yeah.
singing and doing graphic design. So that's pretty cool.
Thanks. So I mean, yeah, the graphic design, like it's definitely something I've like worked towards since I was in high school.
So you knew what you wanted to do even in
Yeah.
high school. The last show, our guest was like, didn't have a clue what he wanted to do even a couple years after high school. It kind of
Yeah,
fell into what he was doing.
I mean, I had some like doubts. Like in college, I changed over to like web stuff and like web design or like web coding, development. And
Oh,
then
good. So you can make money making the sites, right?
like yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like maybe this, but then like I did coding and music theory. Like I changed my majors to both of those things, and it was just like
Sounds horrible.
It was awful. Oh my gosh.
Dreadful.
I had-
Both of you
I-
say it's horrible. Okay.
I had fun like in the music like building like.
I'd cry
getting-
myself to sleep at night.
Oh my gosh,
if that was-
I got so
Jeez.
many migraines, and like I seriously, for the music theory though and the coding, I went to like tutoring. I like tried really hard, and I just like this is not like I kind of get it, but I can't like
This ain't me, boo boo.
You're more. I get it.
So
You're more
it's-
the artsy guy.
yeah,
the,
I
the,
think
the
a-
picture, the
I think
the
a lot-
music and getting the visual, not necessarily
Totally.
the math. There's a lot of math, right?
Yep.
And a lot of boring stuff, I think.
Yeah. So I
I
mean,
mean, I did learn some of it. I agree. I had a hard time getting through those classes, but
it was tough. So
it does help you.
I did go back to graphic design, and I'm really glad I did. But yeah, as far as like screaming, I just like some of my friends introduced me to like some of this like metalcore and early that kind of early 2000s. Like
it wasn't Pantera that made you think about it, because that's
No,
my cousin
actually,
totally got into this genre from
never heard of
Pantera.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
I
Who's
take
that?
that back. So like
Just kidding.
I was actually just having this conversation with Jay in the band, and we were kind of talking about what band kind of started our interest in metal and like rock and that sort of thing. So like my introduction to it was kind of the 70s like rock, were like Queen and the Who, and because my dad really likes that stuff. And
Queen was like one of the first metal-ish.
Yeah, I was just saying, but they're like softcore metal.
Yeah,
they were not real heavy.
They had a pretty hard couple tracks in there that are, oh my gosh, they'll hit you. They'll slap you in
like
the
maybe
face.
for the Flash soundtrack. You ever heard that soundtrack?
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of, some of that was a little heavy.
Savior of the universe.
Okay, you obviously know it.
Yeah. So
So
that was kind
Anyway.
of my start was like, oh, I like rock. And like I had a neighbor, his name's like Pat Davey. He owns a music store called Good Time Music.
Where's that?
Yeah. So
Where's that?
Good Time Music is out in Streamwood.
I
maybe.
believe I've
people
been
in
there.
Illinois.
Yeah,
because I drive by there quite a
Okay.
bit.
Yeah, he's a great guy. We used to live next door to him, and we kept in
Wait,
touch.
music stores. What are those?
Yeah.
No, I'm
But
glad they're still around.
Yeah, he
He's
was
probably
in
got a lot of albums.
he was in a band called Drop from when I was a kid. So that was really cool to see his like rock band, and like those guys would like come by, and I was like, this is really
Was he
cool.
screaming?
No, it was like right on the cusp, like it was almost screaming, but it was more of like your like Chevelle's, your
Is it like post-hardcore ish?
not like before then. So
Okay,
You
it,
mentioned Chevelle.
yeah,
Great band.
it was like
Dad bands.
I guess you could call it dad bands because he's dead. It's it was it was like 3 Days Grace, like
Creed.
Static X, Creed.
I wouldn't say Creed.
I don't know.
Well,
But
yeah, like
maybe a little
dad
bit.
bands, like Nickelback,
Yeah.
somewhat like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was like
okay.
a hard.
I guess you could throw Creed.
it was a
in there.
hard rock band.
Not
Something-
Coldplay. I'm
something-
thinking. Wait, I'm thinking Coldplay.
Stained.
Not Coldplay. No.
Stained,
Yes,
stuff like that.
something-
Yeah,
Yeah,
Stained,
something
there
that
we
would
go.
Be on like
How about Disturbed? No, they're a little too
actually,
heavy.
that's
You think so?
funny that you said, and yes, definitely Disturbed would be kind of a vibe if I remember. It's been a long time.
Stone
but,
Soury.
but it was funny, like
They're from
just
Chicago.
going back with the Jay and I were talking, like for him, his first band that really got him started in sort of like the heavy music was Breaking Benjamin, and I love that band.
My Diary of Jane, baby.
Absolutely. And then for me, it was Disturbed, and
Interesting.
so my brother, my buddy, and I were just like going to Blockbuster. I remember this very distinctly in his dad's minivan, and he put on like The Sickness, like the song Down with the Sickness, and
Yeah,
it,
Down
like
with Sickness.
I swear it like changed my life. I was like, this is crazy. So then I got into like Linkin Park and in Slipknot and
Slipknot's not, but Linkin Park and Disturbed are Chicago guys.
Well, okay.
Slipknot's Iowa.
Linkin Park. They're
but-
from LA.
Yeah.
No, they're a couple of guys are from Chicago.
No, they're
Okay.
not. They're all from LA. You want to make a
I have
bet?
no
I
idea.
do
Uh-oh.
because I know one of them. So he's
The dead one, Chester, or Mike Sonoda?
the dead one. Nice.
Oh,
Anyway, so
R.I.P.
we're trying to interview
Or the
Tom
new
over here.
vocalist.
Now we're gonna argue with Libby over here.
It's all right.
They were from they worked in Chicago. Whatever. I don't know.
No,
they
they're not
they were
from
based
here.
in
I have no
Chicago at
idea.
one point. How's that? Does that sound better for the
No,
audience?
they were not. But okay, I
Um,
digress. Go on.
Do we know?
I have
Can
no
you
idea.
tell me?
I
I
don't
know
where they're
Disturbed
from.
was because
They're
I
not-
worked
they're
with
not-
them.
Disturbed?
Yeah.
Linkin
Yes.
Park's not from Chicago.
Yeah.
They might
They're
have
from
had
LA.
bands like band members rotate in. Like
That are from Chicago.
sometimes they cycle
He's dead.
people out as like
he's from LA.
other instrumentalists. Yeah.
No, one of them that died. I can't think of the guy's
Chester
name.
Bennington.
Chester Bennington.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
He's from LA.
I
He's
thought he was from
No,
Chicago.
he's from California. Look
All
it
right,
up.
Whatever.
I'll
We
bet
don't
my
need to
house
get
on
on
it. I know
Back
what
to
I'm talking
Tom.
about.
We can argue all day about that because I know that look, if we're gonna, so I don't look like a fool.
You
One of
already
my
are a fool.
ex-girlfriends dated him, and he was he was
Oh.
living in Chicago. Was that good enough? Sorry.
Well, but he's not from here.
Okay, whatever. Okay, sorry.
Billy Corgan's from here.
Where were we? Sorry, Tom.
That's okay. So,
Libby gets she's in a bad mood today. Can you tell?
I'm in a snarky mood.
but
Normally she doesn't say anything. Today she just is enjoying the guest, I guess.
but yeah. Anyway, so like
But you like Disturbed.
so
there we go.
yeah, I like
Go from there.
Disturbed.
And
Kind
we're
of
talking with Tom, and how you say your last name?
Cirillo.
Cirillo
So
Mike
then,
Murillo.
with a
like,
C.
when I was in high school, a couple of my friends kind of introduced me to like like the metalcore and like hardcore and deathcore genres. We went to like Warped Tour and like the Taste of Chaos, and saw like Esley Dying and Under Oath and like all these.
Wait, hold on. Is she going to say that the Warped Tour isn't in Chicago?
It was here a couple times.
Okay.
They're coming back next year, and they're not in Chicago.
I know. I heard
salty
that.
about
Now
it.
I'm pretty salty.
But
too.
you saw them when they were
Lollapalooza
here?
was
Yeah.
When it was here, the tour. I'm sorry.
Totally. I can't. I may have missed one in my like 20s and like.
I remember when they
teens.
first started, and I thought this was
I was
one of their
always
first seasons,
there.
but it probably was LA. But whatever. I don't know
Okay.
where they
So
came first.
what's your thoughts on I Set My Friends on Fire? They're kind of wild.
They are kind of wild. I think it's kind of fun. You know, it's just different. It's
I've never seen them.
I feel like I saw them somewhere, and
similar
yeah.
genre music? I take it. What? No,
it's like
They're
I don't
different.
know. I don't know what you'd call it. It was interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought they were pretty cool. Like for what they were trying to do, something different and kind of fun.
Yeah. I just follow their Facebook, and that dude is
That's
just
funny.
wilding out.
Yeah.
like he just goes crazy on their all caps on
man.
every single
You know,
paragraph.
I always remember like I tied to that band is like when they did a thing with Smosh, and they had like blow up instruments, and I think they were talking about puberty.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
the whole song was just like a screamo version of like that.
Are they a Chicago band?
I don't know.
No.
Yeah, they're just
They're just
interesting
very
band.
eccentric,
Yeah,
goofy.
eccentric. It's a good word.
Do
But
they scream?
they do.
Yeah.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not
It's
paying
like
attention.
unhinged.
I'm being
Very
for everybody
unhinged
in the audience.
screaming.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah.
instead of like anyways.
Got it.
It's
No,
not
I'm
as
just
controlled as
clarifying.
him.
So
Interesting.
yeah. So and then
See,
I kind of
everybody
just
knows all about all these different genres of stuff.
Catch
I mean,
up,
it's,
bro.
It's like
I'm kidding.
you got to.
Yeah, listen to music.
I guess I don't know. Getting too old, whatever. Like I said, I was on that radio station. I heard them all, a lot of local ones,
Yeah.
but I didn't go to enough shows. That's what it is. I got to go to more local shows, I think.
I
You
think
know,
see you
life
guys.
catches
I think,
up with
yeah.
all of us.
I feel like especially with like ticket prices being kind of sketchy these days, people should come out to local shows. Like it's a community, it's amazing. Like we just have a good time. Like you see,
Are you free or are they like
No,
$5 or something?
yeah, it's like
Yeah, usually it's a low ticket price.
Yeah, it's like
unless you're
5
playing
to
like a
20 bucks.
festival,
Yeah.
like then it might be 30, 40, 50.
Yeah,
for you guys, for your band.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we've it's usually anywhere from like $10 to $25, like somewhere in
Okay.
there. But yeah, I always love going to like local shows. I grew up going to local shows and the tour spots, but like the community that's there, that it just develops organically, whether you're in a band or not. You just kind of end up seeing people over and over again,
The
even
network
if you're,
grows.
yeah. And it's just like, wow, we have this affinity for this music, which is kind of niche, but like we made the effort to come out here and like support this, and there's just like a camaraderie behind that, and we all like, I think there's just like a love and like a I don't, this is like a stretch, but like I almost feel like there's a trauma bonding like element
Okay.
to it, where like we all like,
I'd agree.
if you listen to this music, there's like a high chance that you kind of like have some angst, like
Something happened. I
yeah,
get it.
and like I hate to come across like I'm diminishing that, but like we kind of have there's like a common ground there, and like everyone's like there for that like because they love that music. Maybe it's like speaking to them on like an emotional level, and that's what I kind of love about this kind of music is it's usually like very raw, very like emotional, very like
Heartfelt.
Well,
Big groups get involved. Like I said, they travel all the shows. They have the mosh pits and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, a lot of the times, even with screaming, like quite honestly, they have some of the deeper lyrics of modern music.
I totally agree. And
So-
I actually write a lot of lyrics for our band. They don't all make it into our songs, but that's kind of one of my contributions is like
Awesome.
as they're like writing the instrumentals, I like try to put down songs at least in like a solid song structure, like intro.
Is it like a
bridge.
therapy
Chorus
for you?
hook,
It is.
song?
It
pre-chorus.
absolutely is.
The lyrics are like a therapy.
Absolutely. And it's kind of a fun puzzle of like how can I say what I'm trying to say in a way that is not generic and like somewhat poetic, but like approachable, where it's, we do like to like kind of throw some like bigger words in there and like metaphors um and and really try to fit a lot of like imagery into, each line. Like we try to like stretch the user, like the listener, a little bit, where it's like it just we try to just write a little bit deeper than like surface level lyrics,
I think it's
I
cool
guess.
when bands or books have me pull out my dictionary.
That's right.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
I wish that I could say that my vocabulary is so excellent that like I just pull these long words out of my hat, but like sometimes I do like go look at a thesaurus or a dictionary
to try to rhyme.
To to rhyme, or just to like expand a little bit. Like I don't want to just say this. I want to say like a metaphor for that, or I want to take this concept and what's a word for that concept.
This is why we got
rapper Papoose has a really good one where you could like listen to like he goes through a flow of a bunch of different lyrics.
This is why we want to see
that could help your vocabulary.
That's really helpful.
And this is why we like the local band, because look at how serious you are. I mean, I guess the big bands are too, but you're really into it.
Yeah.
Where are they going to find, if they want to find your music, and where are you guys playing? Because we're going to wrap up here.
Oh, sure.
I want to make sure I don't forget to say it.
Of course. Well, geez, my brain just went blank for a second. But yeah, so we have a website, solunaband.com. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, any major platform. Just search Soluna. Sometimes if you search Soluna and like Cerulean, that'll come right up. There is a couple bands that share the same name as us. So, and then
for the song, or no, the band?
For the band. It's kind of unavoidable
song, guys. Okay.
Yeah. We had Primal Moon had a techno artist from Germany.
Okay.
And he annoyed us a little bit.
I thought there's copyright, but anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll find you on the
and then
music sites.
Yep. And if you want to check, I would highly recommend you go check out our music video that just dropped today with the song Cerulean Acoustic. We worked really hard on it. We shot it at the Underground Retrocade out in West Chicago.
Nice.
Yeah. And the guy that owns it, awesome dude. He just like let us come in. Like we had to get there really early because it
was really cool lighting.
Yeah.
In the video.
We had to bring some of that extra in to really manipulate that a little bit. But yeah, I appreciate that.
So we're gonna.
So yeah, on YouTube, just look for Cerulean Acoustic, or just like look up Soluna Metal, and that usually comes up. Yeah, and then
it was great having you here.
Thanks so much.
Again, another show that we need like more time, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll have, when you're premiering another song, come back.
I definitely will.
Thanks for coming out, Tom, and your band again, Soluna.
Soluna, yeah. What's that? Oh,
we play something for us.
Yeah, and you can play us out tonight. Anyway,
Sounds good.
It's been another great hour here with Bell and Company. Thanks again for being with us, Tom. Thanks, Joe. Thank Libby. And to say goodbye, let's hear some music.
Yeah, thank you
Take
so
care,
much.
everybody.
Let me give a quick shout out to Jay and Shane and Jay for being an awesome band member.
Listening to you right now, saying goodbye. Bye, everybody. Check out the band. Disdain our glow and better world in a sea.